the evening of October 6th, 1976, Beijing was unusually calm. The streets were quiet. The banners praising Chairman Mao still hung from government buildings. Millions of Chinese citizens were still mourning the death of the man who had ruled their country for nearly 3 decades. To the outside world, nothing seemed out of place. But behind the walls of Zhongnanhai, the leadership compound at the heart of Chinese power, one of the most important political operations of the 20th century was about to unfold. Within just a few hours, the 4 people believed to be the guardians of Mao's revolution would lose everything. Their power, their influence, their freedom, and eventually, even their place in history. What happened that night was not a public uprising. There were no tanks rolling through the streets, no crowds storming government buildings. Instead, it was something far more dangerous. A silent coup. A perfectly calculated seizure of power carried out by the very system these leaders believed they controlled. And it all happened just 27 days after Mao Zedong died. To understand why, we need to go back to the final years of Mao's rule. By the mid-1970s, China was exhausted. For a decade, the country had been consumed by the Cultural Revolution. Schools had been shut down. Families had been torn apart. Intellectuals had been humiliated in public. Millions of people had seen their lives destroyed by political campaigns and ideological purges. The revolution had been launched in the name of protecting socialism. But for many Chinese citizens, it brought fear, uncertainty, and chaos. At the center of this movement stood a powerful group that would later become known as the Gang of Four. They were among Mao's most loyal supporters. Among them was Jiang Qing, Mao's wife, and one of the most controversial figures in modern Chinese history. There was Zhang Chunqiao, an influential political strategist. Yao Wenyuan, a propaganda expert whose words could elevate careers or destroy them overnight. And Wang Hongwen, the youngest member of the group. The man many believed was being prepared to become Mao's political heir. Wang's rise was extraordinary. Unlike many senior leaders in Beijing, he did not come from a military background or a revolutionary elite family. He had worked in a textile factory. He was young, energetic, passionately devoted to Mao's vision. During the Cultural Revolution, Wang gained Mao's attention by demonstrating unwavering loyalty. In a political system where loyalty often mattered more than experience, that proved incredibly valuable. Mao promoted him rapidly. Soon Wang was sitting alongside some of the most powerful figures in China. To ordinary citizens, it looked as if he had a limitless future. Photographs showed him standing beside Mao. State media praised him. His influence continued to grow. Many assumed he would one day lead China. But power in authoritarian systems often creates enemies faster than friends. Behind closed doors, many senior officials viewed Wang differently. They saw him as inexperienced. They saw him as reckless. Most importantly, they saw him as a symbol of the Cultural Revolution itself. And by 1976, many people inside the Communist Party wanted that era to end. Then came a series of devastating events. In January, Premier Zhou Enlai died. His death removed one of the few figures capable of balancing competing factions within the government. Months later, another respected revolutionary leader passed away. Then, on September 9th, 1976, Mao Zedong died. His death changed everything. For years, Mao had been the center of Chinese politics. His authority overshadowed everyone else. While he lived, rival factions were forced to coexist. But the moment he was gone, the struggle for succession began. The question was simple: who would control China next? The Gang of Four believed they were in a strong position. After all, they had spent years defending Mao's most radical policies. They controlled important propaganda networks. They had influence within key political institutions. Most importantly, they believed they represented Mao's true legacy. What they failed to understand was how many enemies they had accumulated. Across the government, military leaders and veteran revolutionaries had grown tired of political chaos. They wanted stability. They wanted economic recovery. And they feared that if the Gang of Four remained in power, China would continue down the same destructive path. Among those watching closely was Hua Guofeng. At first glance, Hua did not seem particularly threatening. He lacked Mao's charisma. He lacked the revolutionary reputation of older leaders. Many people underestimated him. That would prove to be a fatal mistake. While the Gang of Four focused on controlling public narratives, Hua focused on something far more important: power. Real power. He quietly strengthened relationships within the security services. He secured support from influential military figures. Most importantly, he convinced key decision-makers that immediate action was necessary. The argument was straightforward. If the Gang of Four consolidated control after Mao's death, removing them later could become impossible. The opportunity was now, or never. The planning took place in complete secrecy. Every detail mattered. Every risk was considered. The operation had to be swift. If even one member escaped and rallied supporters, the situation could spiral into a larger conflict. The conspirators could not afford mistakes. Then came October 6th. The trap was ready. Throughout the evening, members of the Gang of Four were summoned individually under various pretexts. Some believed they were attending routine meetings. Others expected political discussions. None realized what was waiting for them. One by one, they walked directly into the hands of security forces. There were no dramatic speeches, no final debates, no opportunities to negotiate. The decisions had already been made. When Wang Hongwen arrived, he was no longer being treated as a future leader. He was being treated as a threat. The same state that had elevated him now turned against him. Within hours, all four members had been detained. The operation was astonishingly efficient. An entire political faction had been removed almost overnight. And remarkably, most ordinary citizens knew nothing about it. The streets remained quiet. Life continued as normal. Yet inside China's leadership, everything had changed. The Cultural Revolution was effectively over. The next phase was even more important. The public narrative. Removing political rivals is one thing. Controlling how history remembers them is another. The new leadership understood this well. The Gang of Four could not simply disappear. Their downfall needed to be explained. A story needed to be created. Over the following months, state media launched a massive campaign. The four leaders were blamed for the chaos of the previous decade. They were portrayed as extremists, conspirators, enemies of stability. The message was clear. China's suffering had not been caused by the system itself. It had been caused by these individuals. Whether that explanation was entirely accurate mattered less than its political usefulness. It allowed the government to move forward without fundamentally questioning its own foundations. Years later, the Gang of Four faced trial. The proceedings attracted enormous attention. For many Chinese citizens, it was the first time they had seen once powerful figures publicly disgraced. The outcomes were never truly in doubt. The verdicts had effectively been decided long before the trial began. Some defendants attempted to defend themselves. Others appeared defeated. Years of isolation had taken their toll. Wang Hongwen was no longer the confident young revolutionary who had once stood beside Mao. The man who had seemed destined for greatness now looked broken. His political future was gone. His reputation had been shattered. His story had become a warning. The sentences were severe. Long prison terms, life imprisonment, political oblivion. For the new leadership, the objective had been achieved. The old era was finished. A new one could begin. As the years passed, China transformed dramatically. Economic reforms accelerated. Living standards improved. The country began opening itself to the world. The revolutionary fervor of the Cultural Revolution gave way to pragmatism. And as China moved forward, the memory of the Gang of Four slowly faded. For Wang Hongwen, the final years were spent largely in isolation, far from the crowds that once cheered him, far from the meetings where national decisions were made, far from the power he had once considered permanent. His story contains a lesson that extends far beyond China. Throughout history, countless individuals have believed that proximity to power guaranteed security. Again and again, they discovered the opposite. Power can elevate someone with astonishing speed, but it can abandon them just as quickly. Wang's rise had been extraordinary. From factory worker to one of the most powerful men in China. Yet his fall was even more remarkable. In less than a month after Mao's death, everything he had built disappeared. Not because he suddenly changed, not because his beliefs changed, but because the political winds changed around him. And in systems built on personal loyalty, that can be enough. The story of the Gang of Four is often remembered as a struggle between competing factions. But at its core, it is something much simpler. It is a story about the fragility of power, about what happens when leaders mistake borrowed authority for permanent influence. About how governments rewrite the past to secure the future, and about how yesterday's heroes can become today's villains. On the night of October 6, 1976, 4 people lost their freedom. But something much larger disappeared with them. An entire vision for China's future. A revolution that had once seemed unstoppable. A political movement that had dominated a nation for 10 years. years. All of it vanished in a matter of hours. 27 days after Mao's death, his chosen heirs were gone, and China would never be the same again.